Hi everyone, Tintin57 here, back with another Train Sim World 2 Creators Club video. You know, I've been having a lot of fun with the Class 150 recently and with all the great liveries that are available in Creators Club. And here's one I really like, which is the defunct original Arriva Trains Wales livery by community member CAA. Details are here on the screen if you want to pick this one up. I'm going to run the 150 in this livery on service 2C52 between Penzance and Truro on the West Cornwall route. So here we are, back in the 150. Let's just get everything ready to go before we take a look at the outside. Master key into forward, tail lights are off. Headlights are already set today. What time is it? It's 7 minutes to 8. Turn the marker lights off. I actually think I need those on. I'll check in a minute. Let's get the safety systems on. So here is the Arriva Trains Wales livery. Very simple looking livery, but very effective. Very nice job on this one. So we're leaving Penzance station. This is not a full run of the whole route, but it's quite a way. So we're travelling down to Truro today on this run, and I am missing some lights there from the front. So put the marker lights back on. And this is Penzance station. So I think the last time I ran a service on the channel, we went from St Earth to St Ives with the northern livery for the 150. So today we've got a guest appearance from Wales. So 5 miles down to St Earth, which is our first stop today. A slower speed coming out of Penzance. But it's really nice, this livery. I've been going through Creators Club and I've just been picking out lots of different liveries for this 150. With the intention just to leave them there subscribed. It's given me so much variety on this route. This is a route I like anyway, I said that last time. And I like the 150. So being able to swap it around, put different liveries in is a great thing. So we can speed up now. All the way up to 70. If we can get the 150 up to 70 easily. So let's do a little fly past so you can get a good look at this one. And then we get photo bombed by a 37. Wouldn't you know it? But yeah, as I was saying, it's simple colours, this one, isn't it? But it's quite effective. And to recreate this one in Creators Club, not sure how much effort that is to do that, but I do quite like this one. So we're due in a little under 5 minutes, and just over 4 miles to go. We should be good. We're just starting to get up to speed now. The growl of the 37 coming out of my left ear. So we're now on a slight downhill. It is very up and down, this route. You do need to keep an eye on the speeds. It can catch you out in some areas. So I'm just cycling through the different views that we've got. And I'm on PS5 of course, so I'm using the controller to do this. Using the new control scheme with the shift button. Some of these flybys as well are pretty easy to do with the two thumbsticks on the controller. I don't know if players on PC play it purely with keyboard or whether they're using a controller as well. But on the PS5 I don't have a keyboard connected. Some players do. Makes it easier to select certain functions, but I'm purely playing this with the controller. So those shift controls that came in made a massive difference. Because previous to that there were still some controls you had to go back to the desk to do. But pretty much now you can pretty much drive it from the controller. So we're making good time. We're only 1.6 miles away now from St. Erth. This is a good route for showing off these liveries as well. There are big open sections where we can do that and have a good look at it. Might start making a collection of all the different operating companies. So this one is my next favourite one, after the northern one, the northern livery we've already seen. I've also got a Merseyrail one which I haven't used too much yet, but again that looks really nice in the yellow livery. And some of these, including this one that we're running today, actually I've not seen this one in real life. I just quickly googled it just to have a look, and I was impressed at how true to life this one actually was. So that's what I'm saying about a lot of our community members are very skilled in this, and have spent a lot of time creating liveries and scenarios, and Creators Club's breathed a new life into the game, especially if you don't own a lot of DLCs. If you've not got the variety that some players have got, this will breathe new life into that. As the 47 passenger service passes us just outside St. Erth. So this is St. Erth, so the branch line that we took last time is there on our left, the branch line down to St. Ives, which is a great little service to run if you push for time. It's not long at all, you can just jump on and do that one. So let's get everybody boarded. You can never resist a photo opportunity. So some of these passengers will be wondering what all these new liveries are that are travelling up and down the line. They're expecting the standard regional railways livery. But in my game, there are several different ones running up and down. So our next stop is Hale. So let's put some throttle in The acceleration on this 150 is really fast. As I recall, the real one doesn't get to this speed this quickly. And I think that's been called out many times in the forums, so maybe that will get looked at in the future. And this West Cornwall route was recently in the sale, certainly for PlayStation. I think it went down to $14.99 actually on the PlayStation in the March Madness, which is a bargain, I think, for this route. Lots of playability, especially if you've got Northern Transpennine and the heavy freight pack, because all the old diesels will layer onto this route. So they kind of go hand in hand, the two routes, from that perspective. It's just over half a mile. It's only a short distance between St. Earth and Hale. We've got a 45 miles per hour speed limit coming up, which I just need to watch. That will hit us before the station. So I'm just coasting just now. Put a little bit of brake on. And we're ahead of schedule at the moment. Possibly coming in a little bit too slow, to be honest. But it's better to be safe than never get there at all. So as a PlayStation player, the only thing about this route is there are no trophies on PlayStation. Due to the issue of the number of trophies that are currently in the game. All the routes that have released since have got trophies. This one kind of landed at the time where there was the issue going on. It's still going on, as I'm aware. I don't know whether any will be retrofitted. So as a PlayStation player, I think that's the only thing I would say about this one that was a little bit disappointing, because I do like to collect the trophies, as you know. But if you're picking this up in the sale and you are a PlayStation player, then you're obviously paying less anyway, so there's a bit of a trade-off there. So, okay, plenty of people getting on here. But these guys are not jumping on fast enough, so we need to get away. And we've got 5.7 miles to the next stop, which is Camborne. So I'm going straight to notch 7. We're actually uphill as well out of this station. About 8.5 minutes till we need to arrive. Take another look outside, because we are here for the livery after all. And it's pretty popular already, this one, just looking on the Creators Club. So I'm interested to know whether any of you guys watching this have already picked this up, or are you going to pick this up as a result of watching the video? If you leave me some feedback below, that would be great. I think between us all, we're all discovering different bits and pieces on Creators Club, and I think right now there's a tendency to look at the top couple of pages in Creators Club because the search function isn't always working correctly, certainly for me. So there's probably some hidden gems in there that we often don't come across. So I'm hoping in a future release of that there'll be something done to improve the visibility maybe. I think that will be super useful. Because of the number of subscribers to this one, this is pretty near the top of the list when you first go into Creators Club. But I've had this one a couple of weeks now, I would say. I mean, it would be great as well in future if we're able to get a Welsh route. I don't think we've got anything for Wales. Just looking at the UK stuff. We've had Scotland, of course. England, definitely. Nothing from Wales. The North Wales coastal would be a really nice route. This is a really nice view. It does pop under the bridges, as you'll see just there. Unfortunately, it doesn't fly over the bridge. But in this route where it's so open in this section, you get a very good view of the train and of the route and the surrounding landscape as well. I think there's been quite a few complaints about the landscape on this one, just generally in the community. But you know, from my perspective, not knowing the area, you know, for me it's fine. I haven't got as high an expectation as some of the players. So, you know, this route really is really enjoyable for me. My cup of tea, as I would say. So with all these liveries, you can basically change the route every single time by running a different livery, if you wish. If you were just running the regional railways 150 up and down all the time, you know, you might get a bit bored. You might want to add something else to it, and that's where Creators Club's really coming in now, because you don't have to use Creators Club. But if you've got a particular livery that you like in real life, somebody, you know, chances are, as the regular 150 goes past us, chances are, you know, somebody's already created a version of that, which can be shared, and you can download that and, you know, run that as much as you like. I've been running that northern livery everywhere. I've been creating scenarios on different routes with the northern 150, and yeah, I think, oh, you know, I'll run Northern Transpennine today. I'll stick the 150 on, but not only that, I'll put it in the northern livery and that, and I've run it on Northern Transpennine quite a lot, to be honest. And Creators Club can only get better. There'll be a lot of data gathering going on, I expect, now from DTG about how much it's being used and what the issues are that the community are facing with it. And it'll all get fed back in. I think it was offline for a time last weekend for some reason. Dovetail Live was actually down, so that meant Creators Club was also offline. But it soon came back after a few hours. Don't know what the issue was there. I've still got the issue where when I first log in, the liveries don't appear. I can get into Creators Club, but my subscriptions don't appear until I log out of Creators Club, or log out of Dovetail Live within the game and log back in again. That's still happening. But I expect that, you know, because that issue is affecting everybody, that'll be high on the list. But once you're in, and once you subscribe to the liveries, then it's pretty good. Just had so much variety. And there are certain community members, if you're a member of certain Trains Sim World related Discord servers, who, if you talk about a livery, and can I just say, look at those goalposts. To me, those goalposts are led down on the front, and that's in every route. I think they're placed wrong, just my opinion, unless they're 6 side nets. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, if you go into the Discords, some community members like using the livery editor so much that they will actually create liveries for you. So there's a lot of good and talented people out there doing this stuff. And I've mentioned it to you before, I cannot do this to save my life. I'm not artistic in any way. So now I can share everybody else's liveries, that's great for me. And as you've seen in this video, I will always give credit to anybody's livery that I'm running in one of these videos. It's only fair. You must always do that. So this is Camborne, as we just roll down the platform. That's a nice shot. And I think we're probably about halfway through the run now, down to Truro, at this point. So again, I'm probably coming in a little bit too slow. But we're only a few seconds late, so that's fine. We should be able to make that up. And I like the fact that certainly now on the PS5, having been used to the PS4 for so long, I like the fact that the number of passengers has been stepped up. I used to watch some of the PC streams and used to be quite jealous. There was hardly anyone getting on for the PS4, but the PC guys always used to have plenty of passengers. That's weird. Is that an optical illusion? The crossing gate on my left keeps disappearing. I'm going to try and actually catch the gates going up if I can. Once we've gone across, we'll just put it in notch 7 and just sail across and see if we can catch them lifting. Yeah, see the gate's gone missing there. The left hand gate is missing. Now it's back again. That's bizarre. So I'm hoping these will go up, unless there's something coming the other way, of course, in which case they won't rise. Oh, there we go. That's a really nice touch. But shouldn't the sirens have been going off then at the crossing? They seem to do it some, but not others. Or do sirens only happen at ones that don't have gates? Not sure. Let me know if you know the answer to that one. So Redruth is next. Just over 3 miles. I think we're pretty good on time. And we can go up to 70 very shortly. Now you see that crossing there had barriers down and it was screeching away, so I don't know what the difference was at the one at the station. Don't know. I'd be interested to know if anybody's got the answer. Is that a bug or is that by design? Starting to go up a very slight gradient on this part of the route. And we're still in notch 7. So we're giving it the full beans right now. And we do have a 40 miles per hour speed coming up just before the station. Just need to keep an eye out for that. There's a flyby camera. Now the thing you can't do on a controller, in that previous view that I used, you used to be able to use the thumbstick to then get ahead of the train and sort of hide in a field and get a very good shot of your train coming past. But unless you've got a keyboard, if you're on the, certainly if you're on the PS5 controller, moving the left stick to sort of fly ahead, you can only sort of go at walking pace. You can't zoom off. I know if you're on a mouse and keyboard on PC, you can. I think you can use the wheel in the mouse to zoom ahead and get that shot. That is a shot I miss. But as I mentioned, there's been plenty more benefits to the new shift control layout than there has non-benefits. If you've got a keyboard attached, you can get one of these little Bluetooth keyboards you can attach to your PS5. That will help with some of that. But I know that DTG have tried to design it so that you don't need to buy any additional kit than what actually comes out of the box. So your console and your controller, you shouldn't need anything else. And there's a lot packed in there. There's a lot of controls packed into that controller if you think about how many controls you've got in running one of these trains. So they've done a good job there with that, in my opinion. And this is Red Roof. Coming in a bit faster this time. This is probably about the speed I should be coming in, because the braking's pretty decent on this one. Pretty much on the money there. And we're back on time as well, it looks like, so that's good. Let's go up this footbridge. Well, we'll pretend we're walking up the footbridge. We'll just use the flying camera just to have a look. Watch people getting on. 8:20 in the morning. People going to work. Visitors just leaving the hotel, going down to the beach. Depending on the time of year, of course, you know, in all honesty, 8:20 is probably a lot busier. Certainly in summer on this route. And Truro's the next stop, 7.4 miles. So this will be where our service terminates for today. As we dip into this tunnel. So we had a speedboard there for 70. So as soon as we clear the speedboard with the back of the train, we can go up to 70. So we're in notch 7, we're on the flat, we're accelerating. It's not fast acceleration. It seems to be fast when there's an initial speed burst when you leave the platform, and then it kind of flattens out and seems to not accelerate at the same pace as it did at the beginning. If you can see past that, you're alright. If you've never seen this train in real life before, you've never been on one, you wouldn't know the difference. I'm sure it's something they will look at some point. There are some players that have held off buying it because they didn't like the 150, the way it performed. So it would make sense. But I haven't seen any plan that they're going to do that, but this is a rivet route, of course, and they did go back to Arosa and they made some changes there, didn't they, to the G44, isn't it, on Arosa? That wasn't quite driving, accelerating correctly, and they went back and made some changes to that. So it could happen. Just overspeeding slightly, so I need to take some of that off. We've also got a 55 coming up. But we've got just over a mile till we get to that point, so we're okay for now. Of course, talking about UK DLC, one of the things that lots and lots of people are looking forward to, including me actually, is Spirit of Steam. Now, I would assume, I don't know this, but I would assume that Spirit of Steam is the next UK route that's coming out, certainly. There haven't been any timings released, so we don't know how far along development is on that, but certainly it's going to be one of the more detailed routes we've got. There's been a lot of work's gone into it. Matt was saying about the timetable. They started working on one timetable based on what they thought it was, and then they actually picked up a copy of the real timetable from 1958 when it's set, and so they scrapped the previous one and they've been recreating the timetable. So a lot of work's going into the detail to make it as authentic as possible. And I never thought I would be bothered about driving steam trains, but actually when I look at the clips and I look at the photographs that DTG are releasing, more and more I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be good, this. And again, it's like on the German routes, it's like on PZB. You have to teach yourself something else. Again, all these routes are not the same. You don't just jump in and drive. They all have their own little nuances and different safety systems, different rules. And Steam's going to be exactly like that. And whereas right now, with a lot of these trains, we take the starting and stopping for granted, I'm going to assume that driving a steam train, because of how it is in real life, in the sim, is going to be much more difficult to get the thing going. And the stopping and starting is going to require some skill. So, you know, one thing I would say is that I hope the tutorials are a bit more detailed to help, certainly to help new players, but to help us all that have been playing it for a while. It is a different type of thing. And the other thing is, of course, that there's been work going on for a long time on proper manuals for all the routes. And certainly Spirit of Steam is one route where the manual's probably going to be key. Especially if it's a route that you play for a while and then you don't play for a few weeks and go back to it. I imagine, you know, this happens to me with some of the other routes. I forget, you know, a couple of buttons that I'm meant to be pressing. Oh, that's interesting. I just went under the map. Back to the cab view. You know, Southeastern High Speed is one of those. If I don't play that for a few weeks, I can't remember how I changed the power over. So the manual's going to be key, so I'm hoping that maybe they've got somebody working on the manual as well, and it's not an afterthought. So as you can tell, I'm very much looking forward to that when that releases. And of course when it does, I will be streaming that on release day, because I was made a DTG ambassador. So that means I'm able to stream those for you and give you a first look, in case you're not quite sure on any route or any DLC going forwards. I can do that for you. I can help. .8 miles to Truro. So this has been the Arriva Trains Wales livery, and I hope you like it. Let me know what you think about this one. And I am really keen to hear of any others that you've got. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a Class 150. If there are any interesting liveries that you've got, let me know. I'm particularly interested in the ones that are real life. I know there are restrictions on what we can and can't do, but this one, for example, I'm assuming this one is okay because it's not in use anymore. It's been superseded by a newer version. But if we can get some that mimic real life, like this and the Northern one and the Merseyrail one, that I'm happy with that. So let me know if you found any of those. I do keep sort of taking a daily look, but as I said part way through this video, it's a bit of a minefield and there's pages and pages and pages of stuff, so unless you know what you're actually looking for, the browsing can take a while. Even through your web browser it can take a while, so let me know if you spot any. I'd be interested to know what it is that you play and what you like to play. So 1.8 miles into Truro, and just before we hit the station we need to come down to a 15 miles per hour, but we've got plenty of time yet. We're due in at 8:32, so we've got 2.5 minutes, 3.5 minutes I should say, which is even more time. There's another crossing with the sirens going. So I haven't spent much time in the cab in this one because we were looking at the livery. Normally I will spend quite a bit of time in the cab, but I do like to look around, especially on some of the units like this one that has got a kind of restricted view out of the front window. I do like to have a look round. Usually when I get a new route I'll spend a lot of time outside of the cab, and as I've played quite a few services I'll go back in the cab because I don't need to look anymore. I've done the route learning, etc. So I'll start bringing the speed down for this 15. Truro is just the other end of this bridge. It's actually a small tunnel, isn't it, rather than a bridge. A bit long for a bridge. There's a 37 waiting there in the yard. I think that's a static one. Don't think that one moves about. It's just scenery. I love a 37. In the one of the previous videos where I ran the NTP scenario that I created, there is of course the 37401 Mary Queen of Scots livery that I also picked up on Creators Club. You can see that in that video as well. That's another one that's really nice to drive, and that is one that I've been behind quite a few times, so I do know that loco as well. But this is Truro, so this is where we're going to wrap things up. So I appreciate everybody coming in, watching the video. Thanks for all your support. Please leave me a like, leave me a comment. Let's have some chat and leave me a comment. It's always nice to hear from you guys. And thanks to everyone that's subscribed as well. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done. I'm trying to put out as much train sim world content as I can. Anything that I find interesting I'll put on there. And the live stream schedule will also be starting up again. I did one on Saturday showing Luzerne, so I just need to work out what the schedule can be, and we'll do those a little bit more regularly as I was doing before Christmas. So thanks again for watching, appreciate it, take care, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye for now.